The first time I stumbled onto the Red Room, it was an accident. I was deep in the digital rabbit hole, chasing a rumor about a particularly nasty piece of malware that supposedly originated from some obscure corner of the dark web. One click led to another, then another, and suddenly, I was on a forum discussing something called live events. The chatter was cryptic, references to tickets, scheduled performances, and audience participation. My curiosity, as it often does, got the better of me. I followed a series of encrypted links, each one feeling heavier, colder than the last, until I landed on a page with a simple start countdown timer. Below it, a single line of text. The show begins in 0543. My heart hammered against my ribs. This wasn't some silly prank or a viral marketing stunt. The aesthetics alone screamed wrong. A grainy, static-filled video feed dominated the center of the screen, currently displaying only a black screen. A chat window, already overflowing with a disturbingly eager audience, scrolled rapidly on the right. I watched, fascinated and repulsed, as the timer ticked down. When it hit 0, the feed flickered to life. What I saw made my stomach lurch. A single, bare room. A concrete floor, stained and dark. In the center, a chair, and tied to it, a person. Their face was obscured by a sack, their body limp. And then, a figure entered the frame. Tall, cloaked, their face hidden behind a featureless mask. They moved with a chilling deliberation, setting down a tray of tools. Not surgical tools, not torture devices you'd see in a B-movie. These were everyday items. A rusty pair of pliers, a dull kitchen knife, a length of coarse rope. The normalcy of them made it infinitely worse. The chat window exploded. "Do it," one user typed. "Go for the eyes," screamed another. A disturbing sense of camaraderie filled the digital space, a shared thirst for something truly depraved. The cloaked figure began to work. I won't describe what happened next. My mind, even now, struggles to process the sheer depravity of it. It was a spectacle of human suffering, broadcast live, with an audience actively participating, offering suggestions and votes on what atrocity to commit next. The person in the chair, they weren't acting. Their screams, muffled by the sack, were real. Their movements, desperate and futile, were real. I couldn't tear myself away. It was like watching a train wreck, but the train was made of flesh and bone, and the conductor was pure malice. I felt a profound sickness, a chilling realization that humanity's capacity for evil was bottomless. As the performance reached its horrifying crescendo, and the feed finally cut out, a poll appeared on the screen. Next victim, followed by 2 options, male or female. I slammed my laptop shut, the metallic taste of fear coating my tongue. I haven't been back to the Red Room. But the memory, the chilling knowledge of what exists in those hidden corners of the internet, it still haunts me. It's a constant, gnawing reminder that sometimes the deepest horrors aren't found in fiction, but in the dark reflections of ourselves. I was jobless, desperate. Bills piled up like forgotten grievances, and my landlord was starting to look at me like a hungry hawk. So when I stumbled upon a job posting on a hidden forum, promising an insane amount of money for a consulting role, I ignored the shivers it sent down my spine. The company name was gibberish, just a string of random letters and numbers. The only contact was an encrypted email address. Against my better judgment, I applied. They replied almost instantly. No questions about my resume, no requests for references, just a time and a link to a private chat room. The interview was set for 2 a.m. I told myself it was just a strange startup, maybe a bit shady, but nothing truly bad. I was wrong. When I logged in, there was only one other person in the chat. Their username was the interviewer. No profile picture, no real name, just a black square. The questions started, not about my skills or experience, but about my weaknesses. What's your biggest fear? What would you do for money? Have you ever hurt someone? Each question felt like a cold finger tracing patterns on my exposed nerves. I tried to keep my answers vague, professional, but their follow-up questions were relentless, digging deeper, prodding at my vulnerabilities. Then came the scenario. Imagine you need a kidney for a loved one. You have no money. What's your plan? I typed out some ethical, legal nonsense. Wrong answer, they typed back. The only correct answer involves getting that kidney, no matter the cost. They started describing methods, each one more horrifying than the last, detailing how to acquire organs on the black market, how to bypass security, how to dispose of evidence. They weren't asking for an opinion, they were testing my moral limits. They wanted to see if I had any. I felt sick. This wasn't a job, it was a test to see if I was capable of truly dark things. I tried to exit the chat, but the window wouldn't close. You're not done yet, the interviewer typed. We know you're alone. We know where you live. A chill that had nothing to do with the night air spread through me. They listed my address, my full name, even details about my apartment layout that only someone who had been inside would know. We just wanted to see if you had the potential. Now we know you do. The chat window finally closed. I tore my internet cable from the wall, slammed my laptop shut, and just sat there in the dark, trembling. I don't know who they are or what kind of consulting they do, but the thought that they had been watching me, observing my life before that interview, and that they now knew I was potential, it's a living nightmare. I check my locks a dozen times a night. Every shadow holds a threat, because I know now that some job interviews aren't about getting hired, but about being recruited into a world you never knew existed. A world where the lines between right and wrong are blurred until they disappear entirely. I found it in the back of an old, dusty computer repair shop that was going out of business. A beat-up external hard drive. No label, no branding. The owner was practically giving everything away. And for $5, I figured it was worth a shot. Maybe it had some old movies, some forgotten music. What I found was far worse. Back home, I plugged it into my spare laptop, the one I use for risky downloads and questionable experiments. The drive whirred to life, and a single folder appeared on the desktop, Project Phoenix. My curiosity, as usual, got the better of me. Inside were hundreds of video files, all named with dates and times. I clicked on the earliest one. It was a recording from a hidden camera, shaky and grainy, pointed at a regular family living room. A couple, 2 kids. Normal, boring life. For hours, days, weeks, the videos continued. They ate dinner, watched TV, argued, laughed. I thought it was some kind of reality TV pilot, maybe a social experiment. Then, slowly, subtly, things began to change. The shadows in the background of the videos seemed to deepen, to move. Small objects would shift when no one was looking. The parents would complain about strange noises at night, about feeling watched. The kids started having nightmares, drawing disturbing pictures of shadowy figures with wide, staring eyes. The family became more and more on edge, snapping at each other, their faces etched with exhaustion and fear. I realized with a sickening jolt that this wasn't a show. This was real. Someone was actively terrorizing this family, slowly, methodically, pushing them to the brink. The camera was recording their suffering, not for entertainment, but for some sick, unknown purpose. I felt like a trespasser, an unwilling witness to a prolonged psychological torture. Then came the later videos. The family started disappearing. First, the father, his chair empty at the dinner table, his toothbrush still in the holder. The mother and kids were distraught, reporting him missing. Then one of the children. The mother was a wreck, constantly searching, calling out their names in the empty house. The last video showed only the mother, sitting alone in the dark living room, rocking herself, her eyes wide and haunted, staring directly at the hidden camera, as if she knew it was there. And then she too was gone. The hard drive was full of empty house videos after that. Just the silent rooms, the dust motes dancing in the sunlight, the lingering echo of a family that had been systematically, terrifyingly erased. I ripped the hard drive out, my hands shaking. I wanted to destroy it, to bury it, but I couldn't. It sits in a locked drawer now. A dark secret, a physical testament to a horror I can't explain. I don't know who Project Phoenix was or what happened to that family, but the idea that someone could meticulously dismantle lives like that, leaving no trace, all recorded for some unseen observer, it makes me question everything. If these true horrors have left you breathless, then you know what to do. Subscribe to Horrify HQ, and remember, the real monsters aren't under your bed. They're much, much closer than you think.